Wait, this thing has Aqua Jet? Well, there goes Espathra. I wasn't kidding about the paper durability. A magazine would take more of my punches than Espathra would from any move here in this video. See? That's all it took, man. Why are you so dumb? Oh my god. I started off the match as any other, and after I set up using, oh my god, I can't steal type, man. It's making it run I'm actually not crying, guys. I'm just acting, right? Yeah, I'm not crying.
Thank you for your patronage.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the One Pokemon Only Challenge, and this video is going to be the finale of this challenge against the Roria League. And if you haven't seen the first part where I completely crushed the E4 using only Espathra, I'm going to leave the pop-up on the top right so you can watch that first if you'd like. So now that we have defeated the Elite Four, in this video we are going to be fighting Champion Brad and Lando, and just like the previous episode, we are only going to be using a single Pokemon to battle with at all times. So without further ado, let's get started. I started off the battle with Trick and Calm Mind to set up just like usual, but again we are fighting Grimmsnarl, which I have come to hate fighting against throughout this entire challenge. After completing my setups, I took back Choice Specs with Trick and defeated Grimmsnarl pretty easily. What came next, however, is what made me doubt the possibility of completing this challenge again. And what came next would be Magearna. Against this stupid hunk of steel, my attacks barely makes a dent. Eventually though, I did manage to defeat it, and then I one-shot Gouging Fire and Salamence that followed.
Boom! Headshot! Boom! Headshot!
But then came King Gambit. Again. It would be no exaggeration to call him my mortal enemy in this challenge. Because of Magearna destroying my substitute previously, I am completely defenseless against King Gambit. But this time, not towards his Sucker Punch, but his freaking Black Hole. He brought a freaking Black Hole to this fight, man. King Gambit yet again handed me another L in this challenge. Moving on to the second attempt. This time, I did not take back my Choice Specs. The idea behind it is to allow me to set up Substitute again after Magearna destroys it. Luckily, I one-shot Grimmsnarl with a crit, which puts this attempt at a great start. Then came yet again Magearna. After using only my first Dazzling Gleam, I realized it was impossible to defeat Magearna without Choice Specs, as Espathra just couldn't do enough damage to it. After a few more turns, with Magearna out healing any damage I output, I had no choice but to abandon this attempt. Now let's move on to the third attempt. In the third attempt, I switched out Dazzling Gleam for Hidden Power Fire in hopes to be able to defeat Magearna easier this time. I started off the fight as any other with my setup moves, Trick, Substitute, and Calm Mind. This time though, I did another Calm Mind to waste a turn of Grimmsnarl's Light Screen, then I used Trick to get my Choice Specs back, and then used Hidden Power. And although using Hidden Power Fire was a good idea for Magearna, after seeing the damage on Grimmsnarl and Gouging Fire, I quickly realized this attempt is also a failure. I kept trying, but eventually the battle bugged and I had to reset for another attempt. After that attempt, I went back to the drawing board. After carefully checking all my options and researching Espathra's move pool again, I realized beating Brad is impossible with Espathra, simply because Espathra's BST or base stat total is just too low and her move pool is lacking one important move that I think could completely flip this challenge around. Because Espathra is unable to do enough damage to finish off Brad's team, I had to swallow a tough pill that I didn't want to swallow. Espathra needed to step down to allow a slightly stronger Pokemon to take over the challenge. If Espathra could learn the move Miracle Eye, it would be possible to win, but since it can't, I realized I had to switch out to another Pokemon of similar playstyle, but I am automatically going to exclude Iron Violent from this because everyone knows how busted it is and it's just no fun for this challenge. After thanking Espathra for its service and then sending it into the Shadow Realm, I introduce you to our new main Pokemon, Waifie. She will be the Pokemon that will carry us to the end of this challenge, hopefully. Her move pool is exactly the same as Espathra, the only difference is her slightly higher BST and access to the move Moonblast, which hopefully is strong enough to beat Brad in the follow-up secret boss. This time, with Waifie, let me show you how the 4th attempt went. In the 4th attempt, as you can see, for some reason Grimmsnarl is completely immune to Trick this time. It left me extremely confused and bewildered, and I had to take a few hours off at the time because I thought I just lost the challenge to some random bug. But again, after some consultations, it turns out the reason it wasn't working is due to Waifie copying Grimmsnarl's ability, which is Prankster. It was able to do this due to its own ability, which is Trace, so the fix is simply to change Waifie's ability to Synchronize instead. Which for some reason I completely forgot that Dark types are immune to Prankster, and I didn't even think of the ability being the cause for the issue whatsoever. Which shows that I have much to learn when it comes to combat mechanics, so if you haven't seen it by now, combat is not my specialty. Well, now, after the embarrassing realization, let's move on to the 5th attempt, shall we? In the 5th attempt, funny enough, this attempt ended before it could even start because I messed up and used Substitute before Trick absent-mindedly, which yet again another goofy mistake, which caused me to be stuck at using Substitute and nothing else. Well, after this even more dumb mistake, let's move on to the 6th attempt. After 2 stupid attempts in a row, it was time for me to lock in. This time, I was resolved to win against Brad, but will I be able to? Will this finally be it? Let's find out. Finally, we beat Brad. Wait, calm down. Wait, what's this? A sudden challenger has appeared. Alright, boys. It looks like our first challenger is here. We haven't even been seated at the throne yet, and someone's already planning to take it. Well, I won't let them be. Alright, as usual, let's do our strategy and see how it goes. I gotta say though, Lando's team is a typical anything goes team for what I'm seeing. It's quite broken, but that won't stop us from kicking its cheeks, right? Yeah. So far, everything has been no problem with Lando, but with teams like this, things can go south real fast. And just like that, it went exactly as I feared. Downhill. After my first attempt ending pretty quickly, let's move on to the second attempt. Now, at the second attempt, I have to beat Brad all over again just to even get a shot at beating Lando. Anyways, I'll skip this fight with Brad so you don't have to watch the same thing all over again. Okay, now we are back at Lando. I just finished setting up with Waifie to sweep Lando, and I think it was obvious last time when we lost on what we need to do in order to win this time. Although I hate to win like this, it's kind of the only way to win. Basically, we need to crit on Zacian to win. I don't know the chances of success for this, and I know it sounds bad, but we don't do enough damage to actually one-shot Zacian, and we cannot survive 2 hits, so we do need to crit to actually win this fight. And it might take me a few attempts or a ton of attempts, but I'm sure besides Zacian, Lando's team will be no problem for us. And with Zacian in the battlefield yet again, I was ready to take another loss, but by some miracle, this happened. Wait, it actually crit! First attempt, man! Oh yes, you deserve this, you legend spamming piece of crap. We did it, man. Now, what's next comes next is actually pretty easy for us. It's pretty much just a dragon type and an Arceus. I say that as if I'm not fighting God itself, but it's pretty easy, yeah. Well, sure, yeah, let's go, let's do it. So far, we've been one-shotting everything, and it looks like the challenge is finally coming to an end. Now comes Arceus. Wait a minute, is that Gohan's team? No way. I think that's the Cell Fight team. Yeah, it's the Cell Fight. Oh, hell no, I'm cooked, man. When the boss music plays, you know crap's about to go down. The fact I didn't just get Extreme Speed Blitz to Oblivion is really surprising. I really expected Arceus to actually use Extreme Speed there, but I'm so happy it did not, since that would have ended the challenge. Oh, yes, it did use it. It got one shot. Yes. Oh, we're about to move on to the champion badge, boys. Hey, there we go. This one Pokemon. It actually recorded Gardevoir. That's epic. But there's no epic music like Lando though. That kind of sucks. Well, it is what it is. We got here. We got to the end. And there we go. We got recorded as the new champion in the Hall of Fame. Using only Gardevoir. Unfortunately, I'm not able to bring all of my team members that brought me from day 1 all the way here to the champion room. Yeah, this video had to come as a priority, and kind of sucks that there's no epic music for the Hall of Fame record, just like the epic music that Lando had during the Arceus entry. But it is what it is. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is, yeah. Well guys, this marks the end of my Roria Conquest journey. I've now reached the peak with nothing else to do. I have over 800 Pokédex and have no intention of maxing it out. Don't worry though, my YouTube journey has just started and I have a lot more things to teach you in terms of getting Pokemon and stuff. Our Ho-Ho is actually getting released, I think this weekend, and the Creation Trio next weekend. So look forward to those guys that I'm going to make. I'm going to be dropping those hot and fresh the moment they come out. So I hope you guys found this video enjoyable. This took me such a long time to record and probably longer to even edit. I'm not sure if I can post this before I actually make the whole video, but I'm going to try it, right? So do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys again in the next video. I'm losing my voice right now, so see you on the next one. It's time for me to get a break. Peace.